Hello, welcome back to Disrupt Your Norm with Naomi Dunn. Today we are speaking on essential mindset shifts that you need to obtain if you want an easier road to success. Now, success looks so different for every single person. If you listen to me or watch my YouTube, you will know that I speak a lot on inner work. So maybe success for you is obtaining the goal that you desire through inner work or becoming the person that you want to be or removing this trait about yourself that you don't like having or even financial success or relationship success. It falls under every category of success, these mindset shifts I'm going to tell you. Now, let me tell you, mindset shifts not only strengthen your mind, which is absolutely essential for anyone who has a big goal set before them, but it also uplifts you on the journey so that the journey is not so hard because you can do the journey no matter what, whether it's hard or easy, but you might as well have a strong mind and have more optimism within you as you go on the journey because it's a lot more likely that you will continue with it. So let's talk about these essential mindset shifts. Number one I have is failure. Now, any view that you have of failure in your mind right now, any perspective you have, any experiences you've had, any way that failure has affected you in the past, I want you to imagine yourself removing that from your brain and having an open mind and heart to the new perspective I'm going to give you. Failure to me now, not before, failure to me now is actually success. Failure to me is one step closer to the goal. Because what happens when we fail? When we fail, we learn that what we just did doesn't work. So, how about we try it another way? But we wouldn't have learnt this new information if we didn't fail first. So, failure to me is not a step backwards, but it is always a step forward because it teaches me the way to go about the next step in an easier way and likely a more successful way. Everyone who has succeeded big things in this world has failed. And a lot of the times, those people don't view it as failure because they knew these failures were essential steps to get me towards the goal, to bring the goal closer to me rather than further away. Failure holds essential information that you need to know to bring the goal closer to you. So that's the first mindset shift we have on failure. Number two, we have knowledge. Now, as we all know, knowledge is powerful, but knowledge can only be powerful when knowledge is applied. Now, you can spend all of your time learning, which is great. You want to be almost obsessed with the topic that you are learning about on the road to success because when you have that level of determination, the goal is going to most likely come closer to you because you are so focused on it and you have so much more ability to achieve that goal through that knowledge. But like I said, knowledge is great, but knowledge is not great when it's not applied. Knowledge simply is then words in your head that's just staying there, not used in the outer world. So the way to apply knowledge is have the perspective when you learn the knowledge is okay, I'm learning it. Now, what do I do about it? So, before and after, you remind yourself, okay, I'm going to learn this knowledge. How am I going to apply this to my life? How can I relate it to me? And what can I do about it? All right, number three we have is kind of counterintuitive to what I just said, but let me explain it. It's unlearning. So I'm not talking about unlearning the good knowledge that we need to succeed. I'm talking about unlearning the negative patterns, the negative conditionings, the negative beliefs that we may have, we likely have if we are human, that are prohibiting us from achieving the goal. Unlearning to me is more important than the knowledge. Okay. All right, let's just say it's just as important. I want to say more important, but let's just say it's just as important because I don't want to discourage you guys from learning what you need to learn to achieve in the same at the same time. Unlearning these limiting beliefs and conditionings that are not benefiting our lives and that we don't agree with is essential to not get knocked down on the path to the goal. So you could have absolutely everything that you need, you could have all the essential knowledge that you need, but if you have these concepts in your brain that discourage you, that tell you you're incapable, that give you this idea that you can't do it but other people can. The second you start getting closer to the goal, you're going to find ways consciously or subconsciously to have resistance to that goal, physical and mental resistance. So the resistance shows up, and sometimes, even when we push past that resistance, if we haven't unlearned those conditionings, we push past it and we do something physically in our lives to sabotage it. So you almost have this allowance for yourself of how much of the goal you get to have and how much you get to achieve. And if you don't expand that allowance by unlearning, untraining yourself from negative things we have from our past, likely from childhood, then you will only allow for yourself how much you have in your allowance for yourself. So this is what I love to help my clients with, is removing those negative patterns, those negative beliefs, so that you can actually get to the goal and not sabotage along the way. So these are 3 essential mindset shifts. If you apply them today, your path to the goal will be so much easier and could possibly completely change your future in this sense. You may not have been able to obtain the goal if you didn't have these mindset shifts first. So stay optimistic and continue to train your mind and develop a very strong mind, a very robust mind, so that you can go for the big goal and not take 10 steps forward and 10 steps back, I apologize, and 1 forward. Sometimes we have to take 1 back, 1 forward, 2 back, 1 forward. Sometimes the path is like that. It's oftentimes not linear, but removing, like I said, the negative mindset shifts and applying what I mentioned will make the path a lot more linear for you. So thank you so much for listening. If you'd like more information about me, you're welcome to visit my website, disruptyournorm.com, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.